chance encounter.
Time for some TV nightmares.
I'm Steve Plank and welcome to TV Nightmares, a brand new programme which takes a celebratory look at some of the worst moments on television. Television personalities and ordinary members of the public who ventured in front of the television cameras may well spend the next 60 minutes cringing as moments they want to forget are shown once again on prime-time telly. Now, they might not be looking forward to it, but we're going to enjoy every single minute of their TV nightmares. I'll be introducing you to some of the worst guests to sit down on a chat show sofa.
Which camera am I on?
All of them.
We'll lift the lid on the TV doorstep.
Right, we know you speak English.
We'll hear the most ridiculous answers ever given on a television quiz show.
Name something people take with them to the beach.
Turkey. And get into the thick of the action with a TV news crew. That's all coming up, but first, I want to tell you a bit about TV technology. It's all around us, and you might not realise this, but I'm using two vital bits of equipment right now. I've got an earpiece in my left ear so I can hear the director irritating me to death from the control room, and I'm using a teleprompter so I can remember what to say. Now, when it works, technology is brilliant. It makes life so much easier, but when it fails, anything can happen.
Welcome, Sophie Hannah.
A young woman's big opportunity to read her poetry aloud to the nation, live on television. Did I say aloud? Still, public humiliation is all part of the glamorous world of television. As for satellite links, who needs them? Just shout!
Is this a difficult visit for George Bush?
Even the simplest things can go wrong.
Thousands of acres are underwater. Sorry about that.
Behind the lovely Andy Peters is a plasma screen. It's the latest in TV technology, but the screen gets very, very hot. Not a lot of people know that, including Andy.
Good heavens, these screens are hot. Oh my goodness. Good heavens. Oh, I've burnt my nose. Oh, look. Oh, good. Blimey.
That's it for now, but join me and Angus for London Weekend tonight when we'll have...
But sometimes the technology is fine and human error is to blame. Newsreader Anna Maria Ash thinks this is a rehearsal. But guess what? It isn't. This is a Love News Bulletin. Remember, Anna Maria, you are live.
That's at 6. We can't wait. Hope you can't. Join us. Lots of love. See you later.
Let's turn to sport. Over the years, some legendary fighters have graced our screens. Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Mike Tyson, Danny Baker. Danny Baker?
Andy, it wasn't just Napoleon who met his match at Waterloo. Was it, Danny?
Stop this, off you get. Go on. You haven't got permission for this. Don't talk to me like that. Come on, Danny. You haven't got permission to be on here.
He's not trying to make a name for himself, it's all right.
Look.
Stop this.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I know. Well, don't talk like that to me, right?
Oh, well, get off the stage then, or we call the police, all right?
Yeah, you say that, but don't you dare come and talk to me like that, because I'll come back when I'm not on telly.
All right.
And you're not working on the station, you idiot. Don't you dare come up and talk to me like that, like I'm some...
You should have permission.
Yeah,
all right?
Do things the right way, you idiot.
Well, you should do things the right way and ring us up and ask permission
first. Don't you dare talk to me like that.
All right?
Don't you dare talk to me like that.
Well, you should ring up
Don't you dare talk to me like that.
Today in Parliament, Russian style, and their MPs prove it's not just Boris Yeltsin who likes getting a few rounds in. Although back in the Moscow television studio, there's usually something on hand to cool down a fiery temper. This is American footballer Jim Everett. Yes, that's Jim Everett.
Check that. Chris Everett. Good to have you on the show.
If you call me Chris Everett to my face one more time...
I already did it twice.
You call it one more time, we better take a station break. You probably won't say it again.
I bet I do. Chris?
Here's Herbie Hyde and Michael Bent saving Sky viewers 15 quid by having their punch-up before the big fight. This is Thai boxing, the most popular spectator sport in the Far East. And when I say spectator sport, I mean spectator sport.
What about that Danny Baker clip? Danny, you are a hero. Now then, one of the most exciting jobs in the world has got to be a television reporter. Imagine it, lots of travel, you meet different sorts of people, and no day is ever the same. But there are certain rules which have to be obeyed, otherwise things will go wrong. Veteran newswoman Angela Rippon has the lowdown.
The first rule of television reporting: never let members of the public wind you up.
Naomi Campbell, the supermodel, has said there's no way she's going to back a club which her friend doesn't like. Do you mind?
Always try and get as close to the action as possible. But never do a live broadcast from the middle of a group of England football fans.
I'm at a street party in Fulham where they'll be watching the match on a big screen inside. The atmosphere has been absolutely incredible, really amazing. And I've been out actually since early this morning watching the match.
Leave working with animals such as tigers to the likes of David Attenborough. And when your cameraman tells you that a shot is going to be difficult to get, don't believe him. Ensure that your interviewees keep it clean.
Wake up in the morning and all f***ing afternoon they're here, they're there, they're here, they're there. Bastard things are.
Try not to gloat when your interviewee fails to make his point, like the local councillor who denied claims that roadworks were responsible for accidents.
As soon as that work is finished, the Central Reserve safety fencing will go ahead.
And from one television legend to another, will you please welcome Alistair Stewart? Alistair Stewart, everybody. Woo! Alistair is here to show us his TV nightmare that we're just about to see. Can you set the scene for us, what we're about to see?
Well, I can indeed. This was Christmas 1995, and it was a perfect setup. It was going to be a great event because the studios that we use for London Tonight have the most beautiful backdrop of St Paul's Cathedral and the NatWest Tower, this huge building in the city, and it was going to be lit up. And it was going to be lit up by no lesser a person than Michael Heseltine, then the Deputy Prime Minister. All of the bigwigs were there from the bank. So it was just straightforward. Now we go over to the NatWest Tower and see the lights come on. That was what was supposed to happen.
Nothing could go wrong. Should we see the clip?
I think we have to.
Let's have a look at Alistair's TV nightmare. Have a look at this.
We hope people will have their spirits lifted up by seeing it.
Well, now is the moment of truth. You could ask Mr Heseltine to turn on the lights.
Deputy Prime Minister, please will you light us up?
Well, as the song has it, when the lights go on in London.
3, 2, 1. Even with the Deputy Prime Minister standing there, it takes a little bit of time for it to warm up, but there it goes. Lights flashing, and what a splendid sight that is going to be. And as Lord Alexander said, that's going to be there for the rest of the Christmas season. Here we are. Are we done? Oh, we are. Sorry, I was looking out of the window, enjoying it all. Very much indeed.
What exactly at that precise moment was going through your mind, apart from blind panic?
Where am I going to place my bank account in future was another thought that went through my mind. No, I mean, you say things like, what a magnificent sight, and you then think to yourself, what a magnificent idiot for saying what a magnificent sight when it so clearly isn't. What we found out later on is that the lights were all there, but they were the sort of lights that just take a little bit of time to warm up. And that's why I'd completely forgotten until I saw that clip. Anna Maria is sitting there, absolutely right and proper, looking at the camera, waiting for something to happen. I'm looking over here, gazing out of the window, so nobody can lip read my saying... And then eventually I was able to turn around.
Listen, I'm sure you'll agree, professional right to the end. Alistair Stewart, come on. Thank you, Alistair.
Thank you very much indeed. Lovely to see you.
Now, I bet a lot of you out there think television is a piece of cake. Well, I can assure you it's not. Even the most professional performers can find it difficult to get to grips with, especially live TV. Have a look at this.
The Brit Awards of 1989, and it warrants a live TV special so that the nation can join in the celebrations. And in 1989, who better to present the extravaganza than, well, anyone really, other than the two who actually did. Who can forget Sam Fox and Mick Fleetwood?
She's out of control already, I can tell. I've got to control this woman, I've got to control her over here.
Oh, that's a good start, wasn't it, Mick?
Yep, the sort of start that made them wish they had turned up to those boring rehearsals. Alas, things didn't get any better. The most important thing about co-presenting is, well, to remember you have a co-presenter.
Well, those are the nominations, and with the all-important answer are 4 guys who last year went loco in Acapulco. Here they are!
Tonight, they're totally compos mentis, whatever that means, I don't know, here in London. The fabulous, the legendary, the sensational, the Four-Tops.
The awards weren't Sam's first venture into television presenting. She once tried her hand on LWT's 6 o'clock show where Animal Hospital star Rolf Harris discovered she was one fox he'd have gladly seen caught by the hunt.
Rolf or Ralph? Ralph.
Oh, it's Rolf. Don't call me Ralph, I go mad. I go into a mad mode if you call me Ralph. Hate it.
Ralph, you know actually do
Ralph?
Ralph?
What if I called you Som or Sim or something?
All right, Ralph then.
Rolf?
Someone else who tried their hand at a career in television was newspaper columnist Nigel Dempster, though even Daily Star readers would have considered his interviewing technique dumb.
What are you actually looking for on the river? What sort of villainy is out on the river?
Well, all sorts. There's a lot of private craft out here moored up. There's a lot of thefts from boats. We have people who jump off bridges that we rescue, and bodies, of course, that we recover.
I imagine the people who jump off bridges aren't doing it just to have a swim.
No, not in every case, no.
What would you say to anyone looking tonight? Would you suggest that they jump off a bridge?
No, not tonight.
The water's dirty, is it? The water's dirty and cold. And
Nigel, where are you?
Here I am on the 6th floor of St Thomas's Hospital with midwifery sister Emma Kirk. Emma, any babies?
Yes, we've got 5 babies who were born today.
Which is the most recent?
Travis.
Can we
take
go
him
and
to see you.
Please, come on. Is this Travis's mother?
This is Travis's mother, Elise.
Elise, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
And what's the little baby called?
Travis.
Television is difficult to get to grips with, although that didn't put off catwalk queen Jerry Hall from fronting a live phone-in show on satellite.
Well, thank you so much, Rick.
My pleasure,
Great.
Jerry.
Nice to see you.
And you.
Yeah. About to meet two gorgeous men in the orange room, Ben Nealon and Paul McKenna.
His main problem, bless her, was listening to what her producer was saying down her earpiece while getting on with the interview.
See what the opportunities are and then just make sure that when they arise, I take them and move on in the right direction.
Great. Okay, Ben.
Unfortunately, her style of interviewing won her very few fans.
Okay, we've got Penny from London. Hi, Penny.
Hello, it's Penny from London. I just wanted to say to Joe, you need some training. You really do, because you just laugh all the time.
Training?
Training?
What's training?
Jerry Hall, sorry, Jerry Hall, you laugh so much.
Oh, training!
Well, it's time for a break, but join me in a couple of minutes when we'll look at interviews which didn't go quite according to plan.
If you had a brain cell, it would die alone in us.
And we join Penny Smith on the assignment from hell.
She's a mother of three.
Hi, welcome back. Now, if there is one type of television programme which has really stood the test of time, it's the television game show. They're slick, they're polished. Well, that's what you think.
Family Fortunes is one of our longest-running game shows, and every year thousands of families apply to take part, but only a lucky few get the chance at fame, fortune, or notoriety.
It means that the question has been answered, so we will ask you to do it again. Okay? All right. We're starting from now. All ready? All set?
Yes, yeah.
Name something people take with them to the beach.
Turkey.
The first thing you buy in a supermarket.
Turkey.
Food often stuffed.
Turkey.
Any famous snooker player.
Harlequin Higgins.
Let's try again. Any famous snooker player. Your time is up. Yeah. Come, Bob. Now, you've got a chance here of making £1,000 and 2 weeks. 2 weeks in Turkey. And, I said to you, name something people take with them to the beach. You said... the answer was... the first thing you buy in a supermarket. The answer was... and the survey gave you... a food often stuffed, you said. And that gave you 21! And then we said... and unfortunately... you didn't beat the clock, but I'll tell you what, you've won £152 doubled. You have 354 up there, and you've got all those prizes, and you can go back to the asylum with the people.
And who can ever forget that school of knowledge, which was 3-2-1.
This is a composer, German by birth, English by adoption. Best known for an oratorio published in 1741. It was called Messiah. You're bound to know his Handel. Who is it?
I used to have this at school.
Well, you were nearly there. Well, so who's the composer? Yes, so I can offer it to you. It certainly wasn't who you said it was.
No.
Any idea?
Beethoven?
Beethoven? No, it wasn't.
D.
And another?
C.
And a vowel?
The vowel mark. I.
And consonant?
K.
And
Sorry. It's just for you, Richard.
We have a lot of fun with the word dick.
and especially when we have other people on the programme who are called Dick, both in the Celebrity Corner and as contestants. There was a programme we recorded last week when there were 3 Dicks round the desk, so that gives Carol a whole lot of fun. And in fact, people can offer the word Dick, or indeed Carol can put up the word Dick. In fact, by sheer coincidence, even as we're doing this today in the studio, this afternoon, before we did this, Dick came up on the board for all to see.
A vowel, please.
Thank you. E.
And a consonant.
Would you please give a very warm welcome to one of Britain's most popular game show hosts. He's here tonight, the one and only Mr. Les Dennis. Listen, that turkey clip was something else. Tell us a story behind the turkey clip.
Well, I think what happened was that the guy, when he was putting his headphones on, you know, like we send the first contestant away to put headphones on, I think he heard the question about the turkey, and that was in his head. But he just came out with it for everything. But there was, earlier in that, I've got that show on tape, and earlier in that show, the question was, name a famous Irishman. And that guy said, Trevor McDonald. And then the next person in his family said, Des O'Connor. Then the next person said Tom O'Connor. And then the next person said Shuey McPhee. That was Shuey McPhee from Crossroads. Yeah. And the answer was Terry Wogan, but nobody got it. It was amazing.
You must be praying each week that you're going to get the Thick family from the island of Thick. And most weeks you actually do get that, don't you?
If we get stupid answers, I go, thank you, God.
Thank you very much.
Because that's what the show's about.
And you must have some favourite moments. Just give us a few
Well,
of your
I mean,
moments.
the names even, you know, like Richard Madeley. Richard Madeley? Did I say Richard Madeley?
Richard Madeley? Richard Whiteley?
Richard Whiteley, that's his name. He was talking about the Dicks. We had the Dick family. You know, we actually had a family called Dicks, and they said, in the rehearsal in the day, they said, you won't take the mickey out of our name. How can you not? You know, that's the Robinsons, let's go over and meet the Dicks. So you're the head of the family, that makes you the, top man. But some of the answers have been stupid. Name a way of cooking fish. Cod. I have to stand there and not laugh.
Right.
You know, that's just a good answer.
Well, listen, we've got a collection here of some of our favourite moments from Family Fortunes. Let's have a look at this.
We asked 100 people to name a famous author. Kenny?
Shakespeare.
Arthur Shakespeare. If that's there, I'll give you the car myself. A well-known superstition. Gonna need something from your kit.
Running in front of a car. Running in front of a car.
Run in front of the car. 100 people surveyed. You behave yourself. Your wife's at home, you remember. Top 7 answers. We asked 100 people to name a person associated with the Wild West. Joyce.
Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers. He lives in the 21st century. Listen, if it's there, Joyce, we'll just cut to the chase. You can have the car. Buck Rogers. No! Oh, fancy that not being there. Charlie.
Wild Bill Eacock.
Eacock! Hitchcock! Hickok! It's some cock. What do you think then? Something associated with Australia?
Angelo Dundee.
Angelo?
Crocodile Dundee.
That guy, the first guy there who said about famous author, I have to say that he thought I'd said author. So, you know, that's why he said Shakespeare.
Well, long may it continue, and long may you continue. Family Fortunes, Mr. Les Dennis, everybody. Now, for those of a nervous nature, this might be a good time to turn away as we move on to an area of television which may not be pretty, but does make compulsive viewing. Yes, it's the TV doorstep. Yeah.
There are many things people don't want on their doorsteps: Jehovah's Witnesses, bailiffs, dog poo, and TV journalists.
We know you speak English.
Doorstep confrontations can be violent.
You would like to have another opportunity.
Get up! Leave me alone. I've had tea, Colin.
They can be bloody.
Well, this is where we found Rob Jones, by the banks of the river here, and this is what we got for our troubles.
And sometimes unpredictable.
Hi, is that...
Is that Mrs. Galbraith?
Yes, it is.
This may sound a silly question, but why have you got a basket over your head?
Because I didn't want to be known.
No criminal, however petty, can hide from the TV investigation. This man was accused of removing winning ducks from his fairground stall and hiding them under the counter. But when his unfair funfair was uncovered, at least he had the dignity to keep the honour amongst thieves code of not grassing up your mates.
Is that just a mistake?
No, well, it's a bit of a mistake on Sven's part because I thought they were winners. Otherwise, I wouldn't let you start picking them up, would I?
A New Zealand TV crew has come to Cambridge to doorstep a fellow countryman accused of fraud. But how intimidating can a Woody Allen lookalike really be?
Is preparing a case against Di Stefano. Varney Di Stefano would have preferred.
Oh, that's intimidating. Meanwhile, back down under, their colleagues are after another master criminal, this time a painter and decorator accused of overcharging customers. He showed why he charged so much. He was doing the work of two men, Laurel and Hardy. Back in Britain, the programme Friday Now confronts off-licence managers caught selling alcohol to underage children. Time for the world's worst excuses.
Not to sell,
yes,
but they still went ahead.
I asked them so many times, please ask them the identity and everything.
Yes. They didn't ask any identity on this occasion.
Yeah.
There were no questions. They were just, thank you very much for your money.
Yeah. It's the cashier's fault.
Now, I don't need to tell you that the one cardinal rule, not just in television but in life, is never to work with children or animals, unless, of course, you're a teacher or a zookeeper. But there's another couple of things to stay clear of. Rally drivers is one, and Chinese chefs.
This little lad came in, he was 8 years old, and he'd done an O-level in computer studies. He was the youngest person to have got a pass, and he came in to have a chat. And at the end, I said, so what do you want to be when you grow up?
I'd like to be a scientist because I like science, and also an asteroid is going to hit the Earth and I want to stop it, and it's going to hit the Earth on my birthday, 26 October. And the year is...
Not this year, though, I hope.
No, it's the year 2029.
And I said, goodness, and how old are you going to be then? You're going to be... And I was counting through my fingers, and quick as a flash, out it came.
How old will you be? 38.
You'll be 38.
He's also good at maths.
He's very good at maths, much better than...
I just thought, yeah, a bit like being on Countdown, really. I'm just completely innumerate.
We had this sequence of the happiest dog of the year competition, and we had the finalists in studio. And let's just say they were very happy to be there, or in heat, one of the other.
It's like a door in the chorus, this, isn't it, really?
In TV, you don't, as a presenter, you don't earn your salary for when things go right. But you sure as heck earn it when things go wrong, because everybody absolves themselves of responsibility. When chaos breaks out, floor managers look at cameramen, you know, producers and directors suddenly go silent, and everybody go, what's wrong? What do we do next? Nobody says anything. And, of course, when you then take control, when all about you is floundering, well, the result you can see for yourself.
Anyone rescue me?
Yes. Now, if we could take the dogs out of the studio. Can we take the dogs out of the studio?
I went out in this rally car with Tony Jardine, who's an amateur rally driver. Goodness knows what they do when they're professionals. And we went out, and I was driving, first of all, to get a feel for the car and to see what it was like being a rally driver. So there I was, and I was going quite fast. I was speeding along, and it was quite zippy, but it wasn't particularly scary. And then he gets in, and he starts driving. And before I went out, I got all this dialogue in my mind. I was going to say this at this bend, and I was going to say this at this other corner, and then on the leap and the jump over this sort of bridge, I was going to say this other thing. And in fact, all I did was spent the entire time with my fingers gripped so firmly on the seat that my fingernails were all tearing away from the nail beds. And I opened my eyes periodically to see us heading at 80 miles an hour towards brick walls, and I just closed my eyes again. I felt horribly sick, and I spent the entire time saying, oh my God, oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Don't you? Here's this jump again.
Mr. Wang, hello.
We're in a Chinese restaurant, but it's not so much takeaway noodles as go-away rice.
I said, why don't we just go into a restaurant and into the kitchen and ask the chefs there to make something? So the researcher went off and got the permission from the restaurant and talked to the cook, and we had this lovely little sequence set up. And I said, no, I don't want to go in first. I really like working off the hoof. That's how I always work. That's lovely, great. You've got all the permissions, we'll just go ahead and busk it. So we charged into this restaurant and met the Chinese chef, who didn't seem to be quite as on the ball as I might have thought in regards to helping us out with our particular item, which was about healthy eating.
Yeah? What's he doing? You put water in it to start with. That's very slim line. Oh, I think, first of all, you wash the wok. Very important. This recipe uses just a very small amount of chicken and some fresh vegetables and a bit of oil that goes in first of all. Seems an awful lot of oil, I have to say. There's a few ounces of very lean chicken there, no skin on the chicken at all. You seem to have an awful lot of oil in that, Mr. Wang. Sorry? Yes. So how long do you fry that for, Mr. Wang? Mr. Wang doesn't seem to want to say very much of it.
Eventually, we left the restaurant, having caused chaos and slightly scratching our heads. Well, it wasn't quite what we thought, but, you know, maybe it'll work. And I went up to the producer and said, well, I don't know what we've got, but this man did cook something. And he said, well, I'm not surprised it didn't go according to plan. You went into the wrong restaurant.
It's time for another break, but in the final part of TV Nightmares, our nominees for the worst chat show guest of all time.
Gin and orange?
Sort of. And how Jeremy Paxman was finally silenced. Don't go away, Paxman.
So I'll just tidy this up, and you give me another 12 inches.
Hi, welcome back to the final part of TV Nightmares. Now, you've already seen quite a few unintentional boobs. Now it's time to see another kind of boob.
The queen of showbiz, Shirley Bassey. It's showtime, and Miss Bassey pops out on stage. Literally. And there she is, proving beyond doubt that she's one of the world's greatest showbiz couples. She may not be everyone's cup of tea, but you have to admire the way she deals with her knockers. It's Jerry with the rest of the Spice Girls, and the question on everyone's lips is, are they going to fall out? But for some people, unplanned nudity presents no problems. Take topless model Joe Guest.
3 years of age, it's Michael Hamilton!
Miss that? Let's take a closer look. Thank God Cheggers was there. One tit to cover up another.
And staying on the mammary theme for just a couple of minutes longer, and to explain more about her TV nightmare, please welcome, she's gorgeous, Faith Brown! Faith Brown, everybody! Come on!
Thank you.
Faith, have I got a surprise for you? Just over here.
Surprise,
A few
surprise.
little friends that may ring a bell.
No. Oh,
Were they,
God, don't. No, really. No. Oh, no.
They,
Oh, God, no, they're on the
oh, dear me.
Jeez.
Now, the thing is, the audience here have got no idea what these are all about. You, of course, have got a very good idea what these are all about, haven't you?
Yes, I have, actually.
Shall we show them your TV nightmare? Take a look at this.
And another thing what I do is I like fishing. Fishing, as I like fishing. And this is what I fish with, is these maggots. They're maggots. And what you do is you put them on the end of your hook. Like... No, it's honestly, they're harmless. They just feel so lovely down here.
No, don't you dare.
What was going through your mind as Freddie walked towards you with that?
Well, I know Freddie from way back, and Freddie, he's very unpredictable. Now, Vera, you know, lovely Liz Dawn, was right in front of me, and she said, and she saw him coming near before I did, and she went, you know, if he comes there, I'll kill him. I'll bloody kill him. And, well, you know, I can't stand those things. And I was just looking, I said, oh, please, God, don't, because this is my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Stephen. No.
There's nothing wrong with these.
Take them away. You didn't literally eat one of those.
You want them to go now?
Yes, take them, please, baby.
Can somebody take these away? OK.
You see, my first meeting with Freddie Starr was... I'll never forget that. Have I got time just to say this? Well, my first meeting with Freddie Starr is... I was always very big busted. When I was 20 years of age, my first meeting with him, I was in the dressing room with my brothers, and he passed the dressing room. And, of course, I had a 40-inch bust then, 18-inch waist, 34 hip. I mean, if I fell over, I'd rock myself to sleep trying to get up, you know? It's true. Anyway, he passed the door, and the dressing room, and he did a double take, and he went, bloody hell. It ain't real. And I was very embarrassed, because I did. So I just ignored him. He said, and I've got a big vaccination mark here. He said, is that where you blow them up?
Ladies and gentlemen, she the best. Faith Brown, come on.
Thank you.
Tonight, we've had great guests on TV Nightmares, but it doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes they just don't play ball. It's one of the more fiercely fought contests in television. Who is the worst TV guest of all time? Sit back and judge for yourself.
Grace Jones has to be a strong contender for her memorable encounter with Russell Harty. Russell took it like a man, which was just as well as Grace was giving it like one.
No, if you turn your back to me one more minute, I have got to talk to this. This has been going on too long already.
Well, it's only going to go on about another 6 minutes, and you're going to have another little part of it soon.
Well, maybe I should go right now.
No, don't go right now unless you really want to.
Well, don't turn your back on me anymore.
I can't look at you. Now, hold.
And who will ever forget Oliver Reed's first appearance on Aspel & Co? Ollie probably doesn't remember it. Michael Aspel will never forget it.
It's always dangerous having Oliver Reed on, and I knew that he'd stopped once or twice on the way to the studios for refreshment. But when he lurched onto the set, sort of in disarray, with clutching a jug of what appeared to be orange juice and singing some song, I knew that we're in for an unusual experience.
I was doing the world.
Another nightmare TV guest, though in this case it was the interviewer who proved to be a handful.
Yeah. Take your hand off my, this, amazing what the camera can do, Freddie, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, to interview people like Pamela Stevenson, as Nick Owen found out, you certainly need balls.
What's Pamela Stevenson doing? Stand up for a minute. Just stand up. Right.
Ah, yeah.
Hold his arms.
But perhaps the worst TV guest of all is the one who turns up for the interview only to walk out halfway through it.
Start talking about it. What I've heard you say sounds absolute lunacy to me.
Yeah.
And I still think you're soppy as a box of frogs.
Yeah.
David, thanks very much indeed.
If you had a brain cell, it would die of loneliness.
This was the first time Little John lost a guest, but others nearly followed.
Well, I'm quite appalled and very nearly walked out to be on a British television programme where lesbians are wheeled in for you to make smutty and offensive remarks to. I think it is an absolutely shameful exhibition of vulgarity directed toward a minority. I think the lesbians have come over with considerable dignity and you've come over as an arsehole. Very sweet of you.
The American feminist Camilla Paglia took exception to Jonathan Dimbleby's line of questioning about her views on rape and domestic violence.
I've tried to read quite a lot of it. I think that I've sort of had quite enough of this interview, as a matter of fact, and this is not where I came, to be on this subject. I'm asking you about your views. The interview is over, all right? Okay. And you can say that I walked out because I find this stupid.
Politicians down under can be a sensitive lot.
I am not going to go on arguing with you on a thing that I did not come here to discuss.
Mr. Tizard, your own Prime Minister has said that the way in which this was done does not look good.
The captain of an American yachting team sailed into a storm when he expressed forthright views about New Zealanders.
Can I just play you this?
How'd you get the chip out?
I heard that.
Big boy.
That stinks.
It does stink. Full of shit.
You said at the time Bruce Farr was a loser. You said that you were sailing against a dog. You said New Zealand, the team, was full of shit.
Oh, you're taking things out of context, and I respectfully reserve the right to disagree with you, and I have to run now. Thank you very much for having me.
Would you be interested in apologising to Mr. Farr in public, Mr. Connor?
Oh, I don't like being accused of the corruption you're talking.
Of course, if someone loses control of an interview, he can either get a grip of himself or, failing that, get a grip of the interviewer.
Any illegality whatsoever. Come on, out. You've been ordered out. Stop, all right? Get out. Now, get out, I mean get out.
Up here is a dangerous place to be. Being in front of the television cameras is a bit like being in space. When things go wrong, no one can hear you scream. Not least because when things do go wrong, you've just got to carry on with the show.
So what do you do when a fly invades the studio during a live broadcast?
Fly around the studio.
You can try to swat it.
At the corner. Stop it.
You can ignore it. Or you can do what this newsreader did. He swallowed it.
And that's just about it for tonight.
And he's now looking for a job in Iraq as he's heard it's a no-fly zone.
Universal provision if you're
It was a frog in the throat rather than a fly, which resulted in Jeremy Paxman being stuck for something to say.
referred by their doctors. The hospital says it has no choice because, excuse me, so many elderly people are clogging up its beds. A representative of doctors, excuse me. always happens at the worst time.
And some real dramatic footage. Workmen working for a full 60 seconds without a tea break. But pity it's in the middle of a news bulletin.
Apologise for the sound. They're pressing home their claim for a 30% pay rise. Solidarity leader Lech Walesa has emerged as the kingmaker, with a non-communist government having almost 30 polls for the first time in 30 years. We'll have more news after
Any clouds in the sky.
When Richard and Judy's weatherman Fred talked about exposed southern areas, I doubt if even he could have forecast this.
Things like that, and we could have a little problem here. Right, quite unexpected. Over the southern part of Britain, I better end this quickly. Again, thank you, Sir. I'll say bye-bye.
Round of applause for the streaker, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you go. Okay, I have that one day. Well, we've almost come to the end of tonight's programme. I hope we've lifted the lid on some of the mysteries of television. And if you ever bump into some big TV star sometime in the future, you'll remember that they're just like the rest of us, fallible, human, and as likely to get things wrong as anyone else. And while television is an important part of our lives, don't take it too seriously, because we never do.
Ulrika Jonsson proves Swedes do have a sense of humour.
Fit of pig over here, giggling away at these various characters.
I'm enjoying it just as much as I did last night. Anyway, I didn't want to say that, did I? No. Anyway, weather-wise... Music... There's high pressure over it. A good start to the day. Quite a lot of fog and frost around. Quite a few showers lingering along Eastern coast of Scotland. And this afternoon we'll reach 11 Celsius.
Stay with her. Let's enjoy this. Stay there.
She soon graduated to the more serious surrounds of television news.
We also mustn't forget the other Britons still held captive in Beirut. The Belfast teacher, Brian Keenan. The journalist, John McCarthy, and the former airline pilot. And most recently kidnapped Briton, Jack Mann. With us this morning is Teresa Poole of the organisation Now, Teresa...
If it's surprising to find Swedes have a sense of humour, it's probably an even bigger one to discover Yorkshire people can laugh too.
We're with the Queen tomorrow.
It's not just professionals who lose it. This vicar loses it when he was interviewed about his views on law and order.
In a factory. Not on the same scale, of course, otherwise they wouldn't come out of it.
You actually think this would help reduce the crime rate?
Oh, indeed, yes, and also the number of people who are sent to prison. And I suddenly thought of this possibility of a whipping machine.
But would you be actually prepared to do the flogging yourself?
Oh, no, it's quite something that I couldn't.
We need 6mm PLY. I don't know, what's PLY? Ply.
And here, Annika Rice's biggest challenge was keeping a straight face.
Feet by 4 feet sheets. Okay. Does that sound right? I've been given a list, so I'm not exactly au fait with some of these technical terms. Nails. Come back to you on buckets and sponges. You have those? Oh, wonderful. We need 20 large buckets and sponges. snoozed.
I've just got time to thank all of tonight's guests for being such great sports, all those television personalities who not only laughed at themselves, but let us laugh with them. So until next time, let us have the nightmares and you sleep well. I'm Steve Penk. Good night, everyone.
Well, next week at 5 to 9, tough police drama with Taggart.
The series that reveals the daily traumas, triumphs, action and intrigue within the air travel industry. Please, try to remain calm.
Get me somebody that is going to give me some answers.
I'm going out tonight. Well, I was going out tonight.
Go and get your partner and run. Ah!